Disgruntleds. It's been a while. It's been probably, I don't know, 5, maybe close to 6 months since I posted last. But a lot has been going on, so the purpose of this video is to break all of that down for you. Show you what's been going on the homestead, and try and pick back up some kind of normal flow here with some videos. Anyways, a lot has changed on the homestead. A lot has changed in the personal life. Won't get into too much of it, but we'll share a lot of it. Right now, we're going to feed the what is today? Today is May the 14th. Whoa! See, it's been a while. I ain't even got the camera on my face. Get this. Let's get this fixed. There we go. There we go. There we go. See, there's my beautiful face. Today is May 14th, 2020. As you can see from last time, I'm filling in quite nicely. Getting the hair in there, but there's a lot of gray coming. Since last time, let's see, I was down for a while. I had a surgery. Had to get surgery on my knee. That was due from an injury from the military. Right now we're dealing with some stuff, some personal things. The wife and I, not between us, but with some family matters. Things in another state with a prior party of one of our pasts. And that's all we're going to say about that. So we're dealing with that, so that's going on at the current moment. The homestead has expanded a lot since the last video. We'll show a lot of that on this video. We've gotten quite a few animals since then. And we've got a lot of projects planned. Currently some going that we're going to be finishing and bringing you along with. And a lot planned for the future. So definitely keep an eye out for those. But right now, the birds are going nuts. So I need to get some feed out to them, open that up, and let them out for the day. And then we'll take a walk. If you guys remembered us talking in some of our last videos, we had this old pond on the property, big pond, probably a good acre, maybe a little over an acre pond. It's dried up. The prior owner of the property that we had talked to when we bought it, you know, had issues. We've talked to the neighbors that have been here since the owner before him. And a lot of back and forth between the prior two owners. A lot of money's been dumped into this pond to keep it a functioning pond, and it just hasn't worked. There's been issues with the bedding of it, and it's just not holding water. And even over the year that we've been here, we've had a lot of rain in the last year. It's just never held anything. No puddles in the bottom, nothing. So we just didn't know what to do with it. And we had talked in some prior videos about what we were going to do with it. And that's one of the things that we've done over the time that we haven't been filming. We actually have split this pond into two sections. we have fenced the front half, which is going to be for our goats, and we have a barn that we've had put up. And then the back side we have electric fenced, and we've turned that into our pig area, which, if you remember, the pig area was close to the house last year where our 2 pigs were. We've moved them further from the house because we've gotten 3 pigs for this year, which I'll take you to see in a minute. And story on our goats, we were supposed to have had them already. Sad story though, obviously we're wanting Nigerian dwarf milk for milking. We're going to milk goats. But to start our herd, we're looking for 2 does, preferably bottle babies or just weaned. And after some time, you know, then we can start breeding them and all of that. You don't know, there's normally a waiting list, especially around where we live, to get the does. Does are high demand. And when you get on a list for a doe on a farm that's currently pregnant, you don't know what she's going to have until she has them. Unfortunately, the first doe that we was on the list to get babies from passed away 3 days before she was ready to give birth. Unexpectedly, not really, didn't show any signs, don't know what happened. It was just an unfortunate event. The second doe that we was on the list for gave birth to, I believe it was 2 or 3 boys, so no does. So it just wasn't meant to be this year. We're putting our name on a couple lists with some farms for next year's kidding season. So we do have everything ready. We'll show you that. Unfortunately, just no goats at the moment, but I'll show you their area. So let's take a look at that. So here we've got our fence going halfway around, and it comes all the way around. We've got their barn back here. Over here we've got a larger gate to get equipment in here if we need to do cleanup or get things in and out for the goats. We've got a smaller walk-in gate right there next to the barn. And then we have their barn. I'm not completely done. I put a hold on it just because we weren't getting the babies yet, but I need to get a ramp on the front of that. And I'm gonna put a couple windows in there for some light and ventilation. But inside we've got, you know, feeders, beds, water buckets, and all that stuff. And we've got some things the wife has made, I'm not sure if you can see it, teeter-totter and some other things to go down into their area. They've got a bunch of rocks and stuff to play on, and really a great area for goats to have, a nice little habitat. So that's one of the things that has gotten done since our last video. Let's go over here. Here is where the pigs were last year from the house. You can see from the house to here. This is where they were. That was their little run area, and this is where their house was. Obviously it's mostly been taken down. I've got to move this down. This gate from the pigs last year is actually going up by the pond where the new ducks area is going. So still a couple things to take down, but been cleaned up for the most part. So we're gonna walk down this way, and I'm gonna show you the new pigs area. And this is pretty nifty. A lot of people ask in the comments, what's this black hose? Obviously this is the electric panel for the fence, which keeps our pigs in. But this black hose, I'll show you here in a second. So here's the split and the start of the middle part of the pond. Or the old pond, I should say, which is our new hog or pig / goat pastures. Oh, I hear the girls. Step over this fence here. Oh, here's 1, 2, and 3. This one is Maryland. That one's Coco. And this one is Mabel. You guys remember last year we had a heritage breed, and they were barbecue and pork chop. We still have a little bit of one of them in the freezer. These are a wattle breed, red wattle breed, crossbreed. So they will get nice and big. The thing we're doing differently is we're going to, compared to last year's pigs, we ended up harvesting them both in fall. We still have a little bit, so I think what we're going to do this year is in late fall, we're going to pick the healthiest one of these three to harvest and put into the put into the freezer. And then we'll keep the other two going through winter. We've got a nice setup here for them, and then we find a deal on some more piglets. We'll get some more piglets and bring them in to live with them and start growing. And then when the freezer starts running low, we'll pick another healthy one, and we'll just keep a process going. That way we've got a constant supply of pork here on the homestead. Anyways, one of the things we've added, this is a 500-pound 4-head feeder. I got this thing for free, believe it or not. Guy had it in his barn from an old hog setup he had. It was all beat up and dinged up, rust holes in the bottom, everything. So he said if I could dig it out, I could have it. I got it out of there. We cleaned it up. I built a new wood base for it. We treated it, painted it, added some wood on the inside to help pull some of the dents out. Did a new bottom on the inside for the feeding angles. And yeah, the pigs love it. It holds 500 pounds of feed, which is currently full. And pigs just nose it up with their face, get in there and grab them some food, and go about their day. Another thing we did, water. So, like the chickens up there, we got our rainwater. I'm gonna need to create a new batch system here, filter system here, but we have 2 buckets here, 55-gallon drums. These screens act as netting to keep leaves and everything out, but also to allow the water in. So whenever it rains, water will collect into these. Then they have their nipples, they come bite down on those and it feeds them water. Now the black hose. As you can see, it rides the top of the rails all the way down and it comes into here, and then I have a small hose that goes from bucket to bucket. Now should we ever go a good distance without having any rain, I can hook my water hose to the top of that and I can feed water down into this. It will fill this bucket and then it'll hit that hose overflow and into that one. And I can fill these up from up there without dragging a hose all the way down this hill or carrying buckets of water down here to fill this thing. So right now they've got 110 gallons of water, as you can see. 110 gallons of water at their disposal. On top of that, should that go dry before I'm able to get water into it in their area, we have put them on the side of the pond that does hold a little bit of water, but it's on this back side. It's not a lot, it is a little, and they've taken some real estate in the front part. You know, they've got a couple small spots that they're rolling in to keep themselves cool. They also drink out of it, and they're catching frogs and tadpoles to eat out of it. But you know, they've got all the way over to the fence over there. Over there it goes back up the hill, comes all the way around, and it's electric fenced all the way around. They can't get out. And they enjoy it. They love it down here. A lot bigger area than last year. And then the hut from last year is right here. When they're smaller, we keep them in this fenced area just because they can slide out of the fence, the electric fence, if they want to. So we keep them in here till they're a little bit bigger and locked up, and we'll bring them feed and stuff. And they've got a door on there now that they didn't have last year to keep cool air and stuff out. And then over here, I'm just finishing this one up, but this is the deluxe hut for the big girls. As they get bigger, they'll come out of the locked one, they'll be in this one so they can free range. I still got to put the side on it. I got to put the tin on the top roof, and I've got to paint it. But obviously a lot bigger hut, a lot more sturdier built than that one. That was just to throw together with scraps. This has been a little more planned out. But yeah, this is the more permanent hut down here. And I measured it out, this one with full-grown girls at their full-grown potential of about 500 pounds apiece. We can get 4 or 5 comfortably in here slept. And then obviously if we decide to birth 1 or 2 of them out, at least 1 at a time, we can get 1 in there with their offspring. And that still leaves 3 or 4 in here. So plenty of room for all of them down here. Like I said, this is probably 1/2 to 3/4 of an acre that they have to run down here. So this is the new pig setup, and they love it. Alright, the outdoor kitchen. As you remember, when we left off just before winter last year, I had framed the base in, laid the floor, and I was starting to frame the walls. It's kind of where we left off. Really, most of winter it stayed like that. We had put some plastic down to kind of help protect the floor a little bit. But really, most of winter it stayed like that. Only recently did we get some wood and stuff up. But this is the current state of it. As you can see, it's all sealed in. I still need to finish trimming out. I've got some trim pieces on the back corner and up on the top eave. The other side and the back I need to trim out. And then I need to pull, there's 2 windows I need to install in the front right here. And then I need to pick up 2 more windows for the back side. And then once that's done, I need to spray 2 coats of primer on the entire thing, and then get a coat of paint on it to seal it. And then after that, we'll put our killing cones back up, which, where am I? Yep, right there. Our killing cones, that's for our killing our meat birds. We'll hang those back up, and then we'll put a door on it. Eventually I'll get a porch on the front of it. But as you guys know, this is our outdoor kitchen, so what this is primarily going to be used for, instead of taking things into our house, our main living area, this is going to be used for when we kill our animals and have to harvest them. So when we do our meat birds, when we kill and harvest a pig, during hunting season we bring in a deer. Also during harvest, when we get all of our vegetables from the garden and everything will come into this area, and we can do it in here. We'll have a butcher table inside, we'll have stainless steel table inside, we have a hanging hook out here, we have the killing cones over here. Everything can be done here in this area, so that we don't bring all of the blood and the dirt and everything into the house or around the house. And this is far enough away so that if a predator does come in at night because of the smell of blood or anything like that, this is far enough away from any of our other coops that it shouldn't be a nuisance to them or to the house. Also, most of our coops are close enough to the house that if they come within range, our dogs have a doggy door on the back of the house to get in and out. They're pretty good at knowing if something's outside, and if it comes too close to the house, they get outside and they more or less let it know, hey, we're here, and they run it off. So that was the idea behind this spot and the reason why we have this, or putting this in to be used. But inside we're going to have a sink basin that we can, whenever we're doing harvest or cleanup, we can run our garden hose over here, hook it to an outside spigot I'm going to install, which will run to the inside sink. It's going to have a solid linoleum floor with a drain in the middle, so we can spray it down with the hose and it can just drain out. We're also, if it's late winter, like if we get a deer and it's late winter and we want to harvest, there's going to be a wood-burning fireplace, small wood-burning fireplace inside for heat. But also we can use that to heat up a pot of boiling water to do our canning with when we pull vegetables out and stuff. So there's not going to be electricity in here, but we're going to have everything in here to be able to do what we need to do. We'll have lanterns and everything. So it's going to be kind of old-fashioned, but it's going to be useful. It's going to be able to be used in the manner in which we need to be able to use it. So that's where we currently stand on the outdoor kitchen. The roof is going to come from here. I'm currently waiting. I've been approved. If anybody, I've been approved. Purple Heart Homes Foundation has approved me. They've paired up with Owens Corning here in Ohio to replace my entire roof on my entire house. For those who don't know, I'm a combat veteran. I was injured in combat in Afghanistan, my last deployment, and I am a Purple Heart recipient. I filled out the paperwork along with many other people, and I was chosen to receive a brand new roof in the year 2020 from Owens Corning. That will be taking place. When, we don't know. We're waiting for the whole COVID thing to kind of raise up a little bit. And then they're going to get a company in here to do that. So when they rip my old roof off, I'm going to be saving the green metal roof off of the porch, because they're going to do the porch and the main house. I'm going to save the green roof, and I'm going to use that to go on the outdoor kitchen. So it saves me money. So that's what's going to go onto this roof. So once they come in to do that, the roof will get done on this. And that's where we stand on the outdoor kitchen. So let's go to the next project. You guys are going to like this one. Check out my camper. Free, free, free. No title. Completely gutted inside. Exterior in solid condition. No leaks in the roof. Main necessities that I need, like the plumbing and everything's still there. I just had to go pick it up. So went and got it. Currently sitting right here up towards the front of the driveway. But what we're going to do, we've got this little path coming off. Our driveway comes back into the woods. Way up there is the road. But right here is the wood line. And as soon as you break the wood line coming into the woods, we've got it sitting right here. But there's another path right here that goes further back into the woods, the other side of our property. I need to move the camper from here way back there. What we're going to do is gravel this, make a little private drive that goes back into the woods. We're going to drag this back there. I'm going to skin the outside of the camper, and then I'm going to cut a hole on the back side. We're going to add a 2-bedroom addition onto the back of it. We're going to skin the whole thing to match, so it looks like a little cabin. Going to build a water collection system, solar, the whole works. It's going to be completely off-grid, but it's going to be completely functional. And it's going to be a guest house. So it's not a permanent residence that somebody will live in. However, if we have, being in the military, both me and my wife, we have a lot of friends from all over the place. And we have a large house, but sometimes people just don't like staying cooped up in somebody else's home. It's just kind of awkward at times. But they love to visit. So this gives them an opportunity to come stay on the homestead for a day or two, a week. Stay in a fully functioning electricity, water, everything off the grid cabin, makeshift cabin, looks and feels like a cabin on our property, and still visit with us with maintaining some of their own privacy. been in talks with a guy who harvests cedar in the area, and I think what I'm going to do is line the entire inside with cedar planking to give it that cottagey feel. So it's going to be a really nice little setup, but it's a project for a later date, which is one of the big projects I said would be coming up. So you guys stay tuned for that, because that is something that is going to be really neat to watch get done. But it will be probably a year before that one starts. We have a lot of other stuff to do before this one, but that is going back there, and that is coming soon. Alright, it's starting to rain a bit, so we'll make this quick here. Walking through the woods, coming up to the front part, we got this little pond. So, show you what's special about this. So, that gate from the old pigs is going to go right in here somewhere. We got the fence and the posts up, but we're going to be running it all the way around. It's going to be the duck's new hut that we built. They're going to have this little pond, and then if you see, started building one of the girls' tree houses. The other one is going there, and there's going to be a bridge between the two going over the corner of the pond. One will be painted I think it's light pastel purple. One would be painted a light pastel pink. So the girls will have their space on the pond. Nope, not showing you the meat birds. Started pouring. Show you the meat birds at a later time. Anyway, so on top of that, the house, we got the rest of the house painted. What other projects? Let's see. House was painted. Outdoor kitchen we left off on. Pigs got moved. Oh, some other projects that are coming up that you guys will want to stay tuned for. I know when we first bought the place, some videos that we showed you, we replaced the flooring in the kitchen and dining room and all of that. Big projects coming up. We are doing a full, I'm talking full, draw it down to the studs, gut and remodel of our kitchen and our master bath, possibly bedroom, but definitely bath, along with the guest bath, which is the bathroom between both the girls' rooms, and the old aquarium room in the main area we're converting into a half bathroom to make the house a full, 2 full, 1/2 bath house. I know a lot of people's going, well, you just painted all the walls in the kitchen and new floor, and hey, look, we loved the house, we didn't like the way it looked. We just put some lipstick on the pig and called it good. Moved in. Now that we've been in here for a year and we've got a lot of big projects done or getting ready to be done, we start focusing on what we really want, and that's to make it how we want it. So big projects coming, just stay tuned for those, because they're gonna go. We're currently looking, I won't say shopping yet, but we're currently looking for appliances, cabinets, things that we want. I think the kitchen may come before the bathrooms. We may do the half bathroom first, then jump onto the kitchen. But those are going to be winter projects, so those should start this late fall, coming winter. The outside stuff obviously is going to get done first, so that stuff will be throughout the summer. The goal right now is to at least once a week post. If I can do any more than that, I'll throw a surprise video in every now and again, but at least once a week I'm going to try and start posting again. I want to get back onto the grind, start getting stuff out there for you guys to watch. And start showing you guys a lot of the stuff that I've learned from other homesteaders in the time that I haven't been recording. Pretty neat to learn the stuff and then be able to show other people. So that's the goals for these videos going forward now. But until next time, see Disgruntled later.